Week 11 came, week 11 gone. So many good teams lost. So much pain. So many missed kicks. PodThot's finally back, so that's probably why this week was a mess. Bryce and Iestyn are also here.
On
So
fucking sure.
yeah, let's uh let's blow out week 11. Have a way.
Uh,
Well,
okay, so I don't want to kick things off on too positive a note. So let's just have a good time right now and talk about what the hell happened in Tennessee instead. Because I don't really want to talk all that much about what went down in Buffalo. But hey, the best team in the AFC lost badly today.
awful.
What's going on with Tennessee, though? They lost to Jets. They lost to Texans.
Mhm.
They're supposed to be this just world beater, and they're getting smoked by these terrible teams.
Yeah, and yet they beat the Bills, the Chiefs, the Rams.
You never know what team you're getting
Yeah.
from Tennessee.
See, that's something I think that's going on this year. It's just this lack of consistency that's come out because it's usually you know who's good, you know who's bad. Sometimes a bad team upsets a good team, but typically things go the way you expect. Somewhat, you know.
Right.
This season things are less predictable than ever, and I'd love to find out exactly what's changed league wide because it's everywhere. You know, bad teams are coming out of nowhere and smoking good teams with consistency, and then resorting right back to being the worst in the league the next week. You know, the best teams, and you'll beat five great teams in a row, and then fall to some dumpster fire like Jacksonville. You consistently, all these teams are consistently inconsistent, and it's remarkable. And I just can't figure it out.
So
I mean,
no, go on.
go ahead. No, I was just gonna just say something random, but go ahead.
No, so I was about to ask because when I did Wayne's podcast this past week, I believe he said he believes at this current point the Patriots are the best team in the AFC, and we really even couldn't come to a.
It's okay, Bryce. Go ahead. I muted him.
The fuck is this? What do you
Bryce, no, go ahead. I'm serious.
In his Wavelengths debut, he's muted by Steven. Jeez.
Oh,
I've had
brutal.
access to that button this whole time, and I never used it. I'm going to start, though. So,
Oh dear. See, okay, if I'm Wayne is exactly the kind of person who would say that,
Yeah.
but oh man, I don't like that statement at all. I mean, I think that there's no clear cut best team in the AFC anymore, and if there was, it's not the Patriots right now. Don't get me wrong, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I have confidence
Their
that
offense is just too bland to be the best team in the conference.
Yeah, and occasionally when they do some tricky stuff, it's they're not putting the ball in in the arms of their quarterback to throw it downfield. You know, it's like a flea flicker to a running back to get the job done because at least that guy's got the strength. I don't have anything against Mike Jones. Okay, I do. I like him. I didn't think he was that bad coming out of the draft. I didn't really have any strong
Better than
feelings
Zach
for or
Wilson.
against him. I didn't really know. I didn't bother looking into Zach Wilson. I just heard Zach Wilson number 2. Cool.
Zach Wilson sucks.
It's just your basic Bill Belichick offense for a young rookie quarterback. It's not going to be anything special. It's just going to be, kind of vanilla offense to get him through the season.
Yeah, that's the whole idea, right? Is that everyone's coming along and saying, oh, Mac Jones is, the new Brady, 70 to 18 years. They've got their franchise QB calling it now.
Meanwhile, he doesn't throw anything past 15 yards.
Yeah, I mean, against the Falcons, he had 2 passes past 15 yards, was 0 for 2 and an interception. That's
nothing special.
Yeah, I have nothing against Mac Jones, but crowning him and saying he's why the Patriots are succeeding is just it's just a bad call. It's just inaccurate. It's factually incorrect. This Patriots defense is once again historic because that's what Bill Belichick has always done. Fielded an incredible defense. And, they're a damn good team. I entirely respect them. But I don't believe in that offense to get them through the playoffs. And I don't think that they're the best. I think for that reason in particular, they're not the best team in the AFC. There's plenty of good teams that have, mediocre to good defenses that are sitting there with good quality to elite offenses. And those are the guys you should be afraid of when it comes to the playoffs, because when it comes down to it, great offense will always trump great defense. And I'm hugely pro defense. I think having an elite defense is one of the most important things you can have as a contender. But
I don't know
the number one offense, number one defense in the league, the number one offense will win. I think 9 times out of 10.
I've seen it.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. There's always the game here or there, but how often have you seen?
I've seen it happen more times with the defense than the offense.
That's just because your team never has a good offense.
I never said my team. I'm just saying.
Sorry, I had an opportunity
in general. I mean, hey, at least we're not allowing people to go out and score 5 touchdowns on us in our home stadium. But that's a different story.
Didn't we shut you out though?
Yes, hang on, Stephen, read this man.
You shut out Dwayne Haskins. Congratulations.
Yeah, okay. He kind of has us there.
Dwayne Haskins, good job.
No, the Bills do have one of the top tier defenses in the NFL, but they have a weakness. And the weakness is run stopping in the interior.
And Star being out doesn't help us.
Yeah, missing Starla Dudley, who's the only guy on our defensive line who's that big bodied man who takes up the middle, and missing Tremaine Edmonds, who is the big body who's got the closing speed to get to running backs and meet them at the point.
I really hope Tremaine being out shows the fan base how important he is, and he's not a liability.
Yeah,
because all I've been seeing through last season and this season is how bad he's been playing and how many missed tackles he has. Now, when we played against good running backs, we're getting destroyed because him and Star are out.
Yeah, and
AJ Klein ain't that important to our defense as most of the fan base is saying.
Yeah, and also, I'd rather have a guy get up close, make some contact, and then have a missed tackle than the guy who's never going to get to the running back in the first place.
Right.
Yeah, sure, he might have a lot of missed tackles, but he's also got more tackles than damn near anybody else on the team, too. Anyway, it's just sort of the point was these great offenses are going to trump these great defenses because that's what's happened for most of the past 10 odd years. Great. Obviously, the best teams that go to the Super Bowl, that win the championships, always have at least a good defense because you can't just win shootouts forever. Kansas City's proving that to us now. But it's shocking how many of these great teams have one or the other. There's either a great offense or a great defense, but never both at the same time. And that's what's causing all these inconsistencies league-wide. That's why no one knows who's great and who's not anymore.
Yeah, we don't know who's great, but Kansas City Chiefs are back.
Back is questionable. They scored points on their first 3 drives, and then they scored a single field goal in the rest of the game and nothing else. Yeah, Dallas has a good defense, but Kansas City should have put up more than a field goal over the course of 3 quarters of American football. That's 1 point a quarter. That's right, quick maths.
What is going on with Dallas, though? Because they're just like Tennessee. You never know what team you're getting. Last week, they forget who they played, but they just destroyed them. Now they barely put up 9 points against the Chiefs, who supposedly had a bad secondary and bad defense altogether.
Yeah, but the Chiefs are back.
Okay, so the Chiefs are back, but they're back
not to their standards.
Yeah,
because they're better.
Yeah, they're back in the terms of hey, they're back to 2017. That's right. Alex Smith is quarterbacking this offense, and they're getting to the playoffs.
No, I
say 2, not through.
This pace that they're on, this defense is better than any defense they've had during their run. They're giving up less than double-digit points, Brycey.
Yeah, because Dallas's offense is just too inconsistent. Put them against Bucks, maybe. Bucks, Rams, any good offense, and they're going to get destroyed again, just like they did against the first month of the season.
Yeah. I just don't believe that Kansas City's done anything to adjust. They've just won 2 games, and they've had they're decent wins. One was a good win, over the Raiders. They really stomped the Raiders. But they
Raiders,
beat the Raiders by doing exactly what they've been doing for the past 3 seasons, and that's what they've been stopped from doing by better teams this season. Hell, they've been stopped doing that by worse teams this season. I mean, the Giants almost beat them when the Giants were missing every single offensive playmaker they had, and then they were missing half of Daniel Jones as well. They almost got beaten by half of Daniel Jones.
And full Daniel Jones is
not that great.
Yeah, top 20 quarterback in the league if you're lucky.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's definitely not bottom 10, but top 20 is also kind of a stretch. He's in a weird spot there. But yeah, they haven't made any adjustments. They haven't modified their game in any way. They look like the exact same team that they've looked like this entire time. The only difference is whether or not they can finish a drive and whether or not they happen to get that stop on third down. Seems like you're flipping a coin as to which one's going to happen every single time they go out there. And it's largely because of other teams' game planning. They've stopped Kansas City from doing the one thing Kansas City does really, really well. And once you figure it out, Kansas City needs to adjust, or that's it. They're done. That's what you do in this league. Someone writes the book on you, and then you learn to beat the book that's been written on you, and now they've got to go write a new book. Back to the drawing board. But Kansas City hasn't changed anything. They're just playing teams that think that they're weak. They're not weak.
The same old Chiefs as they've been the last 2 seasons, probably, since they started that Super Bowl run.
Oh, exactly. It's just the only difference is some teams seem to think that they're not anymore, and the teams that do respect them for who they know they are the teams that are able to, they're able to play them and beat them and, play them at their level and force them into doing things they don't want to do. I don't know. I'm having a hard time trusting the Chiefs right now. I think that obviously they are better than their record. We all know who they can be, but they need to change. They need to make actual changes before I start trusting them again.
So at this point, would you have them or have the Chargers favorite to win that division?
That's tough.
Because we've seen a lot of inconsistencies from the Chargers too.
Yeah, that's true. I might have to take the Chiefs just based on experience. Right. Because they've been on top for the past couple of years. We know that they can go toe-to-toe with any team in this league and win. They've got an MVP year from Mahomes under their belt. He's got votes in the past 2. Sorry, he got votes, for MVP last year as well. He's been to 2 Super Bowls and 2, back-to-back seasons there. Won one of them. We know this team's good enough to beat anybody in this league, but with the Chargers, we know they can do it too. But the Chiefs have just done it a little more often with a little more consistency. And I know that once they make those adjustments, they will be back to being the terrifying team that we know they are. But they're just not them right now.
I think the game tonight really showed how young and inexperienced this Chargers team is. Because they went toe-to-toe with a terrible Steelers team that was missing Juju Smith-Schuster, missing TJ Watt and Joe Hayden. And they almost lost to them. So I don't think they're ready quite yet.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? They could win the division, but that doesn't guarantee them a deep run into the playoffs by any means. And I like them. I really do. The Chargers have been so fun to watch, but sometimes
I don't think they're quite there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
maybe one more year.
The Chargers are like when you're 16 and it's like your first real girlfriend and you want to like kiss her on the neck and be all cute, but you accidentally like bite her ear.
Yeah, we've all been there, definitely.
I've never talked to a girl, so I personally haven't.
No, Lord.
But
not this again.
What?
Well, no, Steven, you nailed the experience. It's exactly like that.
Yeah. Like biting her ear could be cute, but it's not what you meant to do,
Fucking Evander Holyfield out here.
That was Mike Tyson.
Did Holyfield not bite someone too?
Same thing. He got his ear bit off. Same fucking thing.
I mean, it looked like the 2010 team all over. 2020 team all over again, I'm trying to say.
Yeah. They got this high-flying offense that can do it all, but the defense can't keep up, and the offense is still inexperienced and still makes those poor decisions.
So who's coming out of the? If you had to pick right now, obviously we still have a couple more weeks left. Who's coming out the AFC?
Oh, the AFC champs right now?
Yep.
That's tough.
Or who do you say is the best team? Because you don't think it's the Patriots. You're not that high on the Chargers or the Chiefs. The Bills have a lot of weaknesses. The Colts have a lot of weaknesses. The Browns have a lot of weaknesses. The Ravens have a lot of weaknesses.
Yeah.
Lions exploited the Browns' weaknesses today too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the Bills have like erectile dysfunction.
By the Jesus Christ. By the way,
Sometimes we can't get that score up.
By the way, can we just sit here and say that there's no team who's had as many bad breaks as the Lions?
Oh yeah.
Like
Well,
somehow they're winless, but they're always just right
They
there.
should have 3-4 wins
Yeah.
at most.
This Lions team it should be like a 2-7 team, right? A 2-7
They
team.
should have beat the Niners. They should have beat the Ravens, and they probably should have won today. Surprisingly,
Yeah, they're probably the best winless team at this point in the season of all time.
probably
yeah.
ever. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're still a winless team, though. I mean, they're 0-9-1. So,
I mean, they kept it close with the Browns with Tim Boyle as a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's it's credit to them, and I do. You know what? You can't really root against the Lions. It's kind of like rooting against the Browns when you're not a division rival. Like for most of the past 20 years, like you can't really hate them. You just kind of yeah, you know what, little buddy, you go. You can do it. We believe in you. And then the kid
it's
runs
like me
off
at
and
a
you're
bar.
like, yeah, that kid's gonna die, right? And everyone's like, yeah, they're done.
Oh my gosh, Steven.
Yeah,
But,
my friends are like, yeah, you can talk to that girl. And then I get up there and it's like, hey, I have a podcast. And they're like, oh, you're weird. And
No. You see, that's because you got to hit him with that wavelengths intro.
You like the
That's how you do it. You're like, hi, Steven here.
no, but they surprisingly do not care, which stinks because the female demographic is really important to me. And I think that women's sports in general need a more mainstream coverage because it's not fair.
That's how you should start off a conversation.
Yeah. We'll just walk up and be
Women's
like, hi,
sports.
Steven here. Women's sports deserve more mainstream coverage. And now they know your name. They know that you're here. And
I might bite their ear.
Okay, they don't know that yet, but I'm sure you'll let them know.
You gotta tell them you know me too. Just show them my Instagram page.
Oh yeah, be like, yeah, this is my friend Bryce. Look at those followers, and they'll be like, ooh, can I get a shout out? And you'll be like, ooh, can I get a kiss? And then they bite your ear.
That seems like rape.
Which way?
I don't want to know, but yeah.
What is going on since the last time I've been here? What is
A lot of stuff.
What has this podcast turned into?
It's been a weird NFL season, Deontay. It's been a very weird NFL season, and you're a little broken in this corner of the room. Anyway.
Talking about biting people's ears off.
So, what other NFL-themed topics can we discuss? Because
Vikings
How
actually
great
won a
that
close
ending
game.
of the Packers-Vikings game.
yeah, okay, cool.
What?
I didn't watch that game.
Yeah, what happened there? I didn't see it. I actually watch my team win. So
Let me get the cliff notes. 1 sec.
Greg Joseph actually, hit one at the buzzer.
Mm.
Rodgers
did
just
enough.
dominated 385 yards, 4 TDs.
fantasy guy.
Scaling had a huge game too, 123 yards and a TD on 4 catches.
Big day to be a wide receiver, I guess.
Justin Jefferson had 164 and 2 TDs too. Every receiver on both teams just dominated.
Yeah.
Adams scored. Scaling scored. I think Thielen did too.
Mm.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, shockingly, Thielen finally scored. It's just
First time all year, probably. But yeah.
wasting his life on my fantasy team and doing a damn thing.
Yeah, see, I never trust a Kirk Cousins-led wide receiver. Thielen was really good when he had Diggs out there drawing all the double teams, but now He has Justin Jefferson out there drawing all the double teams, and it's different somehow.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know
fair.
how, but it's different somehow. Cool. Wow.
Do you still think Jalen Hurts is bad?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
I think he's
Yes.
medium.
He's a bad passer.
He is aggressively medium.
He's like the Patriots Cam Newton.
I say he's a little better than the Patriots Cam Newton. That's almost disrespectful.
He doesn't throw the ball well, but he can get it done with his legs.
Mm-hmm.
He's exactly what scouts thought Lamar Jackson was supposed to be.
Yeah, he's budget Lamar. I'd respect that. Because
version Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
got a great set of runners on
value.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I entirely respect that he is a great athlete, and he's had an impressive season, and you can understand why between him and Wentz, Philly chose to go with him. Especially since
he does have games where you just think to yourself, why was he drafted in the second round?
Mm.
And why did they trade Wentz for him?
Yeah, it should have been first.
I mean, yeah, Wentz is doing a pretty good job in Indianapolis so far this season. I'm not saying great, but a pretty good job.
I mean, 41-10.
Yes, and how many of those? How much of that?
What did Wentz do that game? Nothing.
Oh, suddenly
he was a handoff machine.
Now, when a team wins, it's not the quarterback's
wins on the QB stat, man.
Jonathan Taylor scores 5 touchdowns. Yeah.
Yeah, but if my running back could score 5 touchdowns a game and Josh Allen threw for 0 touchdowns, would I say, well, Josh Allen?
If your running back could get 50 yards a game, you would consider it a win.
Hey, hang on. Matt Breida had 40 yards today. 50, that's close, right?
Oh, yeah, that's rich. That's close. Coming from a Bills fan, you should know about that's close.
Hey, man, don't talk about things that happened before.
Where are you in the division anyway?
Ooh, hang on, that's a good point. This division's supposed to be garbage. I wonder what.
Hello. Deep at the bottom. Terrible.
And he's still talking too.
No, hang on, sorry guys, you forgot.
106 yards from TD.
His Cardinals are top of the NFC West.
Oh yeah, but he doesn't claim the Jets. He only claims the Cardinals because Cardinals are doing well.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, when the Jets do well in 50 years, he's going to claim them over Arizona. So
50-year Arizona fan, but he refers to a picture of him as a teenager wearing a Jets hat one time. Where he's like, "So look, when I was a boy, my father raised me to be a Jets fan." See,
actually, I didn't really have it that growing up, but thanks for bringing that up.
Oh,
well, your cousin then.
I didn't really know my cousins. Really, one of them lived under a bridge.
Okay, fine.
That's all the time we got for this week.
One of the homeless guys off the street nearby.
I slept in a car for a good period of my life.
Okay, fine. You were the homeless guy in this car nearby. How's that?
I mean, it wasn't like a good period. It was like a couple months there. It was pretty bad. I talked about it on a different podcast. Let's just talk about the Cardinals. They won on the road in Seattle.
Yeah, what's going on with Colt McCoy?
Again.
That's absurd, right?
Sucks. Russell Wilson sucks right now.
Oh yeah, I don't know what's going on with him because he's
not supposed to be playing.
Last year he was the halfway mark MVP, and everyone was like, "Man, Russell Wilson for MVP." And ever since then, he has been a not good player.
Why is Colt McCoy thrown for 300 yards and 2 TDs though?
Because they know
Cliff Kingsbury goes is successful.
Well, no, because they designed an offense to make Kyler Murray succeed, but when Colt McCoy was willing to target guys successfully downfield and hit the mark, he doesn't need to extend a play to make someone open. None of this is me dissing Murray. I'm just saying that they're totally different kinds of quarterbacks, and they get it done in this offense in completely different ways, even though the offense doesn't change. He doesn't re-scheme this offense for a different quarterback starting on Sunday.
No.
He leaves it the exact same as if Kyler Murray was in there, and he just throws it differently and makes plays happen in strange and obtuse ways. And I understand it, but it upsets me because
Can we just talk about how Zach Ertz had probably a vintage of Philadelphia Eagles Zach Ertz Day? 8 for 88 yards and 2 TDs.
this is what happens when you have a quarterback who can throw the ball or can at least.
Or is not injured.
Well, I was about to say, Kyler Murray was hurt, but Colts are always hurt too. But still, you have a quarterback that can actually throw the ball. This is what happens. So.
How does it feel to see Colt McCoy succeed when you let him go?
How does it feel to be a Jets fan? Awful.
I mean, it's fun. It's obviously not as bad as the other real things in my life that I had to deal with that I overcame, and we're still here. All right. I mean,
wow,
it's fine.
What about the Knicks?
Actually,
they lose a couple games, and everybody's like, the sky is falling.
Knicks tape.
Yeah, I mean,
actually, wait, where are the Knicks right now?
This podcast has been
off the rails
ever since Deontay. Yeah. Ever since Deontay left.
What happened?
This is vintage wavelengths.
Deontay this is OG stuff right here.
We're back to business.
This is stuff we were missing.
Steven, your lighter went off and it looked like you had just disappeared just become a ghost right then and there in front of our eyes.
Like the Jets' chances of being a good football team.
I mean, at most, they would have won 7 games this year.
Notice how everyone but Zach Wilson, every quarterback but Zach Wilson has looked good this season on the Jets roster.
How about Josh Johnson?
Josh Johnson, 300 yards. Joe Flacco, 250. Mike White had a couple great games.
He hasn't had
Zach
LaFleur
Wilson
in the
sitting
booth
at
yet.
the bottom of the barrel.
And Sam Donald's in Carolina seeing ghosts.
Yeah.
Jets season's going well.
It's
now they got a QB controversy.
The Jets are, I think, second overall pick right now. It's them, Houston, and Jacksonville.
They have the 2nd and 5th pick as of right now.
Yeah. So, honestly, it's not that bad to be a Jets fan starting next season. They got good capital and they can make it work. But that's only if they can develop Zach Wilson in the offseason.
Did they get the 5th pick from that Jamal Adams trade?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
They're still benefiting off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Can I said this last year. If Seattle, even though they're already doing it, they just completely fall off the deep end, does Pete Carroll get fired just to get some sort of change in there? Because he's been there for a while.
Well, Pete and Russell are going to be there next year.
Very possibility.
The thing is, teams don't let go of quarterbacks who have Super Bowls on their record with the team. That's just how it's so rare for no matter how bad it gets.
Russell Wilson's that one exemption, though.
Yeah,
I mean Joe Flacco, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady.
Yeah,
that's just the 3 that were just playing.
But teams aren't going to let go of the coach that got them there, even if you have the star quarterback. It's so rare that a quarterback, that a team will go to the Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl, get back, have a couple down years, and they'll be like, well, let's get rid of the coach.
Literally the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, but, as I said, it's rare. I didn't say it doesn't happen. And Philly are a special kind of bad, so they're good enough to not get the greatest draft picks. They're bad enough to not get the greatest playoffs. All
right. Well, we haven't.
He's in his own world right now.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to do this in a couple weeks.
Oh shit! Okay.
I don't know if Deontay has it all, but he is familiar with having big nuts and just plopping them down on a nice table. So Deontay, your DYNOTTPOTW is
there. It is
blank.
I what?
He hasn't done this one before.
On the table, player of the week.
Oh, player of the week. Just
he turned it weird. So.
Player of the week.
Tell me you don't watch or listen without telling me you don't watch or listen.
Hey, it's been a while.
Even my little brothers know what that is.
It's been a while. Okay, I had to take a what do the kids call it? Load management. I had to take a little break from
yeah, so you couldn't watch while you weren't here?
Like the Jets playoffs, Deontay.
He carries the pod when he's on it. He carries the viewership when he's not.
All right. He's done for a minute. Bryce, you go.
Jonathan Taylor, easily 5 touchdowns.
All right,
Yeah.
So he took that one from me, thank God.
Yeah. Didn't want to have to say it, right?
Shocker. The
Yeah.
PodThot takes the basic pick.
I'm sorry, he scored 5 touchdowns and he's obvious pick. I mean, you want to go Eckler too? He went off.
Stop
Yeah,
stealing.
that was my next one, Austin Eckler.
Yeah, take it. Take it.
Yeah, I mean, let me pull up his stats real quick. He had, I mean, his rushing yards weren't that great, but he still had 4 touchdowns. He had 65 receiving yards, 2 TDs, averaged 10.8 yards per reception. I mean, he just dominated that game through all 4 quarters. The Steelers defense just couldn't stop him. They couldn't game plan around it.
Except on that really important 4th down. But I mean, that wound
Yeah, I
up
mean,
not
that was
being
one
that
play and they
important.
still won, so.
Yeah.
He still had
I'll
4
say the same thing.
TDs, so that kind of evens it out if you have 4 TDs.
All right. My DYNOTTPOTW.
You said PP.
Oh shit. It's my drinking on the table player of the week is Joe Mixon, because
That's a good one, too.
no one is going to talk about how not very good Joe Burrow looked today, because Joe
Everyone's
Mixon
talking about
looked great.
Mixon, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's saying, "Hey, man, how good did Mixon look?" They can finally lean on Mixon again in this massive, blowout of the Raiders, who are supposed to be a very good team right now. What a nice, refreshing sort of bit of news for the Bengals fans. Sorry, Bengals fan. He's out there
Somewhere.
somewhere
In
the
hiding.
rafters. Yeah, he's got a season ticket. It cost him his whole month's allowance.
But yeah, Mixon had 123 yards, 2 TDs, averaged 4.1 yards per carry.
Oh yeah, dominated
Couldn't go wrong
outside
with
the
those
tackles
numbers.
too. I mean,
Yeah.
he got the coaching staff put him in space, and he made men miss consistently. It was like, that's vintage Mixon from 3-4 years ago.
I guess it's my turn. I don't know. I just want to shout out all the single moms out there. They just deserve some love too. We talked about like my lack of dad, and my mom raised me by herself. So, women's sports. I'm sure there's a women athlete out there that just raises their family by themselves. But
Deontay wants to
Yeah.
say something so bad.
I'm gonna
not
go
saying
with
anything.
Colt McCoy here. Just
Just slap the Cards cap right back on.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I mean, this just proves how good this offense is. They don't even need Kyler Murray. They don't need DeAndre Hopkins. Got a 3-headed monster at running back. Cliff had to wear a winter
What a
coat.
change of topics. So.
You see how uncomfortable Cody looked wearing that winter coat? Cliff is like, used to Texas and Arizona. He had to wear long sleeves, but he still got it done. Great guy, great team. Colt McCoy.
Oh, McCoy.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Shout out to the single moms, I guess. I don't know.
What do you mean you guess?
I mean, I was just randomly. I don't know.
Wait, hang on. Speaking of single moms, Stephen, you said you never spoken to a woman.
Yeah.
What about your mom? Does she count?
I mean, yeah, but
In
like,
his case, yes.
it's like, I don't know. It's like saying you've never, I don't know, seen a naked person, but like you've obviously taken a shower.
Oh,
Says
my
you.
God. Oh. What does this become? I might have to take another break. Oh.
Who
It's
knows?
never been like this before you got here either.
It's just foreign to me. I'm used to it being weird. This is
We had several ordinary episodes in between when we last saw you and now. Several.
This
Yeah,
is just
none of the other podcasts were like this.
this is like depressing. Now I'm about to just sit here, just like stare at my wall and think God I have a dad in my life. Like, geez, Stephen, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Sometimes, like when I can't sleep, I just stare up at my ceiling, and then it's like, oh dang, one day this is just all you're gonna be like seeing because like you're dead, and it's
Right.
just dark
I don't,
forever.
I mean, you have a dark ceiling?
No, like when it's dark at night,
Oh.
you just look up, and it's like, wow, one day this is gonna be it. You know?
This is the most depressing thing I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah, what
What,
has
you
this
ever-
podcast turned into?
You ever
is
just
this
like
episode
sleep, and then you're
turned
like,
into?
wow, this is like life forever one day.
Well, to be fair, it's not really life forever one day. It's death forever one day. But who knows? It could be a party down there. They could lower any of that box in the earth, and then, like, when everyone leaves your funeral, suddenly the bottom of the box opens up, and you drop down, and it's just disco all the time.
I was having a great day. Now I'm finna think about death. Thanks.
Hey,
It's-
well, hey, you can have a good day and still think about death. You
Yeah.
can be like, man, death, right?
How do you think funeral
Yeah,
home operators
He's a
like make a
Washington
living?
fan, so
Yeah, that's actually a fair point from Steven there. Like, how
Those
do
people
they
have
make
no soul. They have no souls. That's what it is.
No, they got plenty of souls, just none of them belong to one.
Watch this on YouTube, Apple, Spotify if you want to listen. Sportswave.net. See you on Tuesday.